Good morning. Good morning. Got some time. We're going to stream. I have no idea what I'm working on. Because I need some feedback. Actually, let me hop into Discord here. See if we got any pressing issues. Got some. All right, so there was nothing. Hey, Blurry. How you doing? Let's hop in the game. Last night, I came out with another alpha. It added a lot of recipes. Like, I was going to do a screen share, and I did for a while, but no one was coming in. I'm like, you know what? I feel like I'm on a roll with these recipes. Let me just stop sharing my screen, right? Hop out of Discord, and then just focus. Man, 203 hours in this. Woo! I think the other one, because I ended up refreshing the world. That one had, I think it was like 400 or 500 hours in it. What is this, EU-friendly stream time? You know, it's funny because you say like the EU-friendly stream. But when I get the chance, I do like to do morning streams. It would be nice to be able to wake up like nice and early and then just like stream for a day. I used to do that back in my not youth, but when I had less responsibility. But you never know. You never know where life takes you. Maybe I'll get back there someday. So all of this stuff is kind of irrelevant right now. I noticed last night, because I had pushed this ritual in, it kind of made everything else inaccurate with the numbers. So I fixed all of that. And I also, in the ritual of creation, I put in the cattails to any flower and the papyrus to any flower, and the conversions for that. And then also in the destruction, I added the rock conversions and the place log, right, to resin. Although I do want feedback on that place log, because it's not like you're placing the log down. That is literally what the game calls like the log that you pick up. Place log. But this is like what you get, right? There's so many like logs, right? I couldn't do a accurate search to just get these guys, because like if you try and put like placed, like it doesn't work. Maybe if I do like log dash, see, like it doesn't. The way the searches are, it's, you know, it's good, but I think it's not gonna do what I want it to do here. And I don't want to just point it to like one of the logs, because, you know, like you'll think it's only pine, right? Like, oh, I can only do pine for resin, when you could do like any log. You know what? I think I have things I wanna do that we'll work on now. Yeah, I've been busy. All I know is it feels. I know how it feels. With fresh mind, it's always better. Yeah, it's funny. Remember when I was bashing my head against that void vault? Like literally the next day, got rest within, and I'm being generous with 2 minutes. I know it was under 1. I had it fixed because I sat down with a clear mind, not trying to rabbit hole myself. Read the code that was there, and I'm like, oh. And then bam. Yeah, search does not respect item IDs as far as I know. Yeah, it kind of sucks. A little bit. So in the chat, I did put some like fine points. I think we're going to change the name of magic, arcane magic chalk in the arcane bag. Maybe we'll do that now. Where did I put it? There we go. Yeah, the arcane bag should be, we're going to change it to Mage Weave. And the bag of holding, I want to make a 20 slot bag. Transmog stones now drop from ancient artifacts. I don't have a recipe in for them yet, but so let's start with that. And then of course the arcane magic chalk. I think I may just call it like temporal chalk, and we'll tweak the recipe. Because I was thinking about it, it's like, well, if that's a tier 2 chalk, and then like what do you have, like tier 3 has like, you know, like it seems like a lot of different chalks that all do the same thing. So it's like, why not have just the regular chalk, and then maybe close to tier 3, or maybe at the very beginning you can get temporal chalk, right? Which lasts a lot longer. Like I don't need to have 3 different chalks in here. Just like one upgraded one would work. But I want to remove the arcane because I made these things back before, like when I had the old elements of like poison, heal, you know, things like that. And I'm like, arcane, I'll use that. I actually did it for the armor too, and I had to fix the armor. But now it's confusing because arcane is an element. So you're saying like, oh, this is a bag for this particular element. Where's my fire bag? You know what I mean? So we're just going to call it a Mage Weave bag. Yep, there you go. Mostly fixed previous day issues with writing in the first hour. Yeah, that's how I am. Now thinking about it, kind of feels like it kind of gave me an idea for the rest of my time. Yeah. Yeah, now I sit there, it's like I'm in time debt. I was expecting to spend all this time on whatever the issue was, and I fixed it, and I'm like, I had nothing else planned. that was it. I completed the day's goals. All right, so we're going to have to shut down the game because I'm going to do some rewriting of the items here. Oh, my darling. All right, inventory bags. So the arcane bag, we need to change that to Mage Weave. All right, we'll do that, and that's it. Good. All right, we need to go into the textures. I always forget the textures. I don't know why. Entities, humanoid, bags. Okay, so instead of arcane, we will be calling these Mage Weave. All right, so that is done. The shape, we got to change the shape, which is somewhere here. There it is, shapes. Entities, humanoid. All right, instead of that, boop, Mage Weave. All right, what else you got for me? Ah, the actual class name. We'll change that as well. So there's going to be item. Where is it? Item Arcanus. Resources. Item Arcane Bag. Where did I put you? Oh, is it in here? Nope. Okay, here it is. Wearables. Because eventually I may make the bags like show on your character. I do wonder though if there's a mod for VS that is like, yeah, just enough items in MC. Wonder if that one respects item IDs. That would be cool. You know what? My hope, Blurry, is that over time, some of those mod developers like sees this game and they're like, you know what? I'm going to take the plunge, and they're going to recreate, because that's what I did. I'm like, you know what? I was working on my airships mod, and I'm like, I'm going to recreate this in this game because I like this game, and I want to fly around in my machines. So let's hope that someone else does that as well at some point. It would be really nice. All right, so we got to change that. Mage Weave, and Mage Weave. Oh, you know what? Let's adjust this too. Okay, I think I know what I did here. I think I just have to comment that out. So I did try to make these bags only available to magic users, but it got really weird. Like, I was able to get like the client side to agree, but the server side would allow you to still equip the bag. So there was some nasty desync going on with that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to touch this. If you could get a hold of a bag, then good for you. All right, so that's that. Let's go down to here. And we have to change this to Mage Weave. And then the final thing to do... Where'd it go? What was that? Bum, bum. Items. Wearable. Bags. There we go. I got to change it here. In ModDB Sage, search for that's enough inventory. I mean, does it do the same thing? Or at least starting to do the same thing? Basically JEI. TEI. That's pretty cool. I kind of want to look at it now. Let's check it out. Oh, I got 4 messages here. I'll pretend I didn't see those. That's enough. Why am I not finding it? It's enough. There we go. Searches are weird. Ah, QP did it, my man. I'm gonna follow that. Oh, cool. Looks like you got filter. Oh, you could save things. That's cool. Not sure what the side inventory is for. Left side. Oh, it also gives you access to your creative. Oh man, my man. No, not DEI in BS. What's DEI? Is that another mod? Firearms. Wrench. No, I don't see anything. All right, so I think the inventory bag is done here. So now it's going to be considered a Mage Weave bag. Let's change it here. So instead of arcane bag, it is of course a Mage Weave bag. There we go. And we changed the localized name, so it's going to be happy. We're going to rebuild and check it out. Lunatic, greetings. How you doing today? I am doing pretty well. Pretty well. I got a little scratchiness in my throat, but I feel so much better. This sickness has been lingering, and it's been hitting me in different phases. Like, I feel fine, but it just feels like I got something in my throat. It's killing me. It's like annoying, you know? I'm like, I constantly want to clear my throat. But other than that, I'm doing pretty well. I was able to go for a run yesterday, and I wasn't dead, so we're good. Getting back on track. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We'll try it out later. I hope there is less or no search lag compared to the handbook. I was looking at the handbook, man. The handbook was... That stuff, like, renders a lot of things on the fly. You know? Like, that code looked a little... It works, but it's like, oof. Probably have some optimization or something. Like, just blunt force, just boom, creating everything, like all your dictionaries and stuff. So do we think that they are working on a Rust world? Like, are they working on dimensions? Because, like, I saw that screenshot where it's like, you know, like the rot ground and the metal grass and like the tower in the distance. I hope that they are working on that. It's my hope. All right, where are the bags? Oh, it's under equipment. There it is. All right, so we have a new Mage Weave bag. Let's put that down. Where did the old Mage Weave bag go? Oh, right there. Okay. You know what? This is going to be a tier 2 bag. It will take some runic scrolls. Maybe I could put it after the runic scrolls. Like right there. The concept art or actual screenshot? The screenshot. The screenshot's what I'm talking about. Like, I want to... Trust me, if we get dimensions, we're getting a magic dimension. I want to make like a teleport for you to where you get your own like magic space outside of time. You know what? I want to do so much with this concept. It may destroy my personal life for a little bit. When was it posted? I don't know when it was posted. Fritz actually found it and sent it to me. I didn't go searching for it again because I thought it wouldn't have been a good use of my time since I already got the only picture. Let me see if I can show you here. Hold on. So this is it. Right, so you got like what looks like rot grass, like round. You have like rust kind of grass, and then you got this like tower, right? Like it, and of course it looks like you're in the Rust world. That is cool, and I'm optimistic. I gotta be, right? I had a feeling they may be working on dimensions. As for the last 3 major updates, and dimension code has been worked on quite a bit. Yeah, it looks cool, right? I want to explore that. See, I was talking to a friend last night, or yesterday afternoon, and we were talking about like this game, like it's such a good game, but it needs something more to get you going. Because like, sure, there are those role-playing servers where people are happy being a simple hunter, hunting the same wolf and deer. Right, because they're doing like a community role play thing, right? And I get it, but most, like, for me personally, and probably for most other people, like Minecraft servers lasted so much longer because you had not only the main world to explore, which with extra biomes or plenty of biomes completely changes exploration. Like, honestly, like, we need those mods in this game because like you start, like, after running around, you're like, oh, all this looks the same. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to stumble upon something like a magic forest or, something that like instills kind of, and the way the spawns work, because there are no biomes, you know, you pretty much see all the creatures that would spawn anyways, right? Like, you're not going to be surprised by, oh, in this magic forest, there was a wolf, you know? Look at that, there is a pig. Like, you see all those anyways, so it's not like there are biome-specific enemies to get you even more excited, right? But not only that, it's like, okay, eventually you conquer the overworld. It's nice to have, like, a nether, right? Like a harder, more hardcore experience, and the mods that can make it harder and change that. The end, right? You also have, like, Twilight Forest, the Aether mod, you know, like, all these other, like, dimensions, mining worlds and stuff. You know, so it's like... if we had stuff like that, you know, then some of these servers where they keep people for like 2 to 3 weeks and then they just stop playing, you know, that would help go a long way to like retain people actually participating in servers, right? Because like, you know, Gravity Cat proved you can like rush steel in like 2 or 3 days and then bam, you know, you're like N tier. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this mod. It's like, there's a lot to explore, and yeah, it's a grind, especially compared to the main game, but I kind of want people to keep playing and investing the time, right? Keep logging into the server. All right, so, whoops, put that down. I didn't want to equip that. So, I need to make this craftable. Is this like playing the same song? No, I just got it weird. It's weird. It actually hit a different one here. There we go. Let's skip it manually. This game is incredibly good. The core game's incredibly good for VS, but we just need more content. Yeah, we definitely do. I think it is hitting the and like I said, my hope is that some of the other like Minecraft modders, you know, the people that made like extra large biomes or something, sees this and they're like, you know what, I see the potential. I'm gonna recreate my mod in this. And then I just hope they don't get too frustrated. Right? They actually complete it. Alright, let's write on this here. Mage Weave bag. And we gotta change the created by. It is a 10 slot bag, I think, and this only holds my magical items. I think that is perfectly fine. 10, I think, is pretty generous. And it serves a specific purpose. Like, a non-magic user could put it on, but, you know, will they want to? Hey! Step Crafter. What's Step Crafter? Is it a mod? Mage Weave, how very World of Warcraft? Yeah, well, I already call it Mage Weave Cloth, so I'm like, yep, might as well make a Mage Weave bag. Hey, the icon's not the same, but the color kind of is. Gonna go AFK for a bit. We'll be back in about 10-30 minutes. Never mind, still here. All right, sounds good. Either way, if you're here, if you're not here, have fun. All right, let's start building this out here. So we are going to definitely want a couple of these runic scrolls, right? Because I want that to be like the bottleneck. We will be using the scepter. We will use Mage Weave Cloth. I'll just get the regular for now. Now the question is, how much Mage Weave Cloth? I think it may be like 8. Or I could do something like that. And then we'll probably need something in the middle, right? What can we put in the middle? I don't want to do Arcanus. I could put a crystal in there. I could put a medium crystal of some kind. Something like that. When you make it a 32 slot bag, well, the bag of holding is going to be a 20 slot bag, I think. By the way, Create and Aeronomics mod devs are showing more and more interest in VS and also showing more and more frustration with MC modding. That would, yeah, I know the one what Jake or whoever did pop in, because he tried to do some of that stuff, but the game, just the physics engine wasn't that good. So I'm maybe that's why Tyrone made the dimensions, because he probably saw like an opportunity there. My assumption anyways. You know, it's like, hey, you know, these people are really good at making mods. Having something like that modding for my game is going to up the value, right, and content of said game. So let me work on their grievances to try and pull them over. Mod that makes VS would be, yeah, would be nice. It would be cool, like, one day if this game got so big to where, like, you know, the mods are on Curse Forge, right? They enter, like, the big boy arena. Like, that would be pretty cool. I would like to see them. And who knows? Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we won't. Maybe Microsoft will buy out VS and then turn it to shit. Who knows? And then we all scatter like cockroaches. I think this is good to make a Mage Weave bag. We're gonna do this. I'm trying not to think too hard about balance or anything, and just put something out there for people to craft, and then just get the feedback, right? Because once the recipe's in, it's not that hard to tweak it, you know. But keeping an item uncraftable is not the goal of this next alpha. All right, so we're gonna have to create a new file. 2 new files, technically. Let's go under recipes, grid, cannot craft. So I don't have any. I have armors. I could put it in armors, but it's not technically armor, so I shouldn't do that. Stations, utilities. You know, I'm just going to put it in the main root of the cannot craft folder. So we'll just copy the magical repair kit for now. We'll call it Mage Weave. I will say bag dash Mage Weave. Bum, bum, bum. We'll pull up this Mage Weave here. So I'm going to have different patterns, I think. You're going to have the 4 different patterns, because I don't want to limit you to, like, only using the regular, but you have all square stitched. That's costly. A mod that makes VS would be, oh yeah, well, it's supposed to be costly, right? Like, I want you, and this is some of the feedback I got, like, oh, it should be less to make this item. It's like, keep in mind that I want you to play for more than 2 weeks in a server, right? Like, this is going to be a huge benefit. You know what? It's going to be costly. Like, it's now too costly, you know, we can, but honestly, if you can't make this much Mage Weave by this time, you have not been growing your fields, you know, like, you have not been doing that at all. Because this is actually less than, this is actually a little more than the chess piece. I think it may actually be a little less than how much Mage Weave you need to make your tier 1 chess piece. And then these 2 things are just to lock you in, right? You got to have some kind of magic. This is a 10 slot bag. It's pretty big. The bag of holding, if you think that's costly too, the bag of holding is going to be, it's going to make your eyes pop. But it is going to be a 20 slot bag that anyone could use. OVS Discord is getting 100 plus members new each day, so growth is definitely really steady. Nice. I haven't peeked too much into the VS Discord. I'm just kind of, I don't want to get excited about 1.20. Iron out all the bugs, add whatever incremental steps. Honestly, even when it comes out as release, I'm going to wait until like 0.3 or 0.4 before I even start modding with it. You know, just because, like, I got screwed over last time where it's like, oh yeah, you know, oh, here we go, 0.4. Pretty big rewrites, pretty much a new thing. You can't carry things over. Have a nice day. Like, oh, great. That's wonderful. Time well spent. MCM, MMM, Runic scroll, and I'll do Z for that. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here. So we got the Mage Weave. I need the crystal. Which I could go right up to resources blocks. There we go. So this would be the large crystal. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to hop back into the Mage Weave bag and I'll paste that in. So instead of E, I'm going to have, you know what? I will keep it as E because I'm doing it everywhere else for elemental crystal. Yep, and this is going to be a medium. I will allow you to put any elemental crystal in there. Of 1.20, things I'm most excited for is the new monster and the boats and the boat building system. Yeah, I kind of want to check that out too. Honestly, I've been at a coin flip with my machines mod because I'm kind of aggravated that this will be the third or fourth time that I have to completely rebuild that mod from scratch. It's kind of a slap in the face, you know what I mean? When it's like, oh, this game's better from Minecraft because each update you don't have to, you know, do a complete mod rewrite. And I've had to do it absolutely 3 times. I think maybe 4. Like, I haven't sat there and chronologically sorted it out and looked at my archives and stuff, but twice is too much, right? So 3 times is way too much. And I'm like, is it worth it? You know, like, I don't know. Because what, next update, is there going to be more things to, you know, to tweak and everything? And then I'm going to get rope-a-doped again with the mod? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. So I'm on the fence. It's like, do I just like retire it for now and then just let it run its course? With the new boat building thing, I could probably use that to make the building experience better, right? Because you could have more of a feeling of like building your machines. But I don't know. I was also kind of on the fence because with the whole like dimensions that they're doing where you can like build something, I thought that would be cool to kind of do. But if we do get the create, you know, like they're going to do it better than I would because I'm a single person and, you know, they have the knowledge, right? It's been a lot of what ifs. All right, inventory bag. Dash Mage Weave. I call it Mage Weave bag. That's kind of redundant. I didn't realize I was doing that till now. All right, so I have that. I need the runic scroll still, and I need the tool. So I think for the tool, it would be this. We'll do a copy, paste, and I will put in iron or steel for your resonator. And then the last thing that I need is going to be, let's go into tools, and we'll get the magician's staff. It's going to be this scroll here. And I'll put that right there. So a tier 2 runic scroll, Mage Weave, one of those crystals. For the Mage Weave, it's going to be 4 each, and the resonator. All right, let's see if this recipe is happy. Let me come down here and change that. Now it should be happy. We are going to build and then hop back in. Boom. Creative. Oh, I gotta show off too. I'm starting to make a spreadsheet for like the item flow. So this is kind of the item flow of like how you create things. Right? So like this is all the primitive tier, you know, like what each thing kind of does, you know, and like the kind of progress. It's like a loose progress, right? Because like you could create Arcanus before you create Enchanted Stone, but you know, I wanted some kind of flow chart. And then I started to do, and then this one right here is for tier 1, right? The rest of tier 1. So you got your primitive tier 1, and then like the advanced tier 1 where you hit copper. So I guess technically this is tier 0, this would be tier 1. And I think I can get rid of the radiant gems. Maybe we'll work on that after I get this bag in the game, because I think with the new resonators and using those as tools, the radiant gems and like those gemstones don't actually serve much of a purpose besides transmutation, right? Like doing the purification or destruction rituals, right? So I could easily swap those to another catalyst, and then that item has no footprint anymore. And I'll probably disable it, not delete it, because I may end up throwing it down here. So it could be useful. Oh, 1 second. All right, everyone. I have been requested to make a bagel. So we will talk about this more. I'll just kind of, as you can see, there's a lot more lights now. I did a lot more recipes. So we'll just kind of float up here for a bit, and I'll be right back. Boom. We are back. Oh yeah, so I was talking about these being useless. The gemstones. Which means I need to come up with a way for you to... See, I think I want to go back to the old way of, like, at first, you know, it's going to be a time of day kind of ritual. So during the day, it's a purification. At night, it's a corruption ritual. And then when you're a little further down and you get your mana torches back, then you can, you know, make as many as you want. The biggest complaint I had about that system was, like, they're like, oh, well, I made it and I thought it was daytime and it was night. And it's like, guys, like, there's a time, there's a clock here, you know, like, I can accept a lot of things as, you know, decent, right? Decent feedback, but that, come on, use the clock. Like, I can't, it's not as big of a deal to, like, get rid of a system that I think is cool because of that. So I may end up reinstating that. Mage Weave Bag. Mage Weave Bag. All right, so there it is. You use any gemstone. Looks like it worked fine. Let's change that created by information because that is no longer accurate. I got to get rid of some of this stuff here. All right, inventory bag. Let's pull up something similar like enchanted stone. That's the recipe. Here it is. And I will actually paste this in both. We'll go ahead and make this the 20 slot bag that it was destined to be. Or should I make it 16? Should it be a 16 slot bag or a 20? Since it's annoying to take away inventory space from these bags, I'm going to go ahead and just make it a 16 at first and see how that feels. All right, let's fireball that in. So this is working fine. We are going to shut down the game. I'm going to import that into the Thaumic workbench. That recipe. Where'd I put it? Right there, right there. So it's right in the root with armor, resources, and everything else. So it would be right there. We got to go in. I got to remove this tag. And that's it. Now it is craftable in the game. I'm gonna listen to this song one more time. All right. There we go. Created by Thaumic Workbench only. There's nothing else really special about this. I already say it can hold magical items. So I think this item is done. So let's put the little glow block on top. Done. Dunzo. All right, what else did I say? Okay, so the arcane bag was renamed. The bag of holding, tier 3, will be expensive using magic stuff, rare gemstones. All right, all right. So I can actually start that. We'll get our little bag of holding. There we go. I know a Mage Weave bag will be the start of it. So we'll put that in there. I will also put in... you'll need the steel resonator. And then I have these slots to fill in with any gemstones or anything that I deem expensive. Make you work for this bag. Let's make sure we label this with bag of holding. Here we go. All right, we'll come back to that. All right, what was next? Eldrathrium ingots. I have no idea how I want to make this. I think it needs to be linked to steel, because I do want to make tools out of this too. I want them to be like mana tools. So instead of like durability as we know it, they'll have durability, but it'll be kind of like a magical recharging durability. But I think you'll have to do something with steel. I just don't know what that is yet. Oh yeah, you can make the torch holders now. So I guess we'll skip that for now. Mana lanterns, as soon as I figure out how to make these, I'll figure out how to make a mana lantern. I'm toying with the idea of making these, like you have to hammer them out. But it seems kind of annoying to register more metals to work in like the default anvils and stuff. And I don't want to make a special Eldrathrium anvil. You know what I mean? Like, how many steps are too many steps to something? But yeah, for now, you can't make these either. Transmog stones. I don't know if I want you to make transmog stones or not. I feel like if you could mass produce them, then seeing people with like cool like staves and stuff is kind of useless, right? But you do go through your staves. Like when they break, they disappear. So maybe the staff transmog stones need to be somewhat craftable or have more ways to attain them. And then maybe the armor stuff could be reserved for just drops, because your armor, once you have it, you're, you know, it's just yours, right? Like there's nothing else more to it. Like it never breaks, it never goes away. So getting one of those is kind of, you know, it's a long-term investment. So I don't know what I'm going to do with those transmog stones. Arcane chalk. We could change that to temporal chalk. And where should it go? Where do I have arcane chalk on here? It's mana torches. No. Mage Weave bag, staff. Okay, here we go. So maybe this isn't what I want to have happen here. Maybe instead of rot... Hell, I could just throw in a temporal gear. I could just do that. Take the easy approach. And that makes your temporal chalk, magic chalk. I like that. You know what? We're doing it. Boom, print screen. There we go. Got it. We're going to have to shut down. I'm going to be renaming a lot of things with this too. First thing we need to do is... I'll do the localization first. We'll do magic chalk. And we'll start at the top. So where it says arcane, we're going to put in temporal. Going to copy that. Paste. That's going to be temporal magic chalk. Temporal, temporal. All right, draws temporal runes on the ground, which can react to magical systems. Temporal runes have a blank % chance to be consumed by magical systems. That's good. Next is down here. Here's symbols of power. So that's the handbook. All right, so we got normal magic chalk. Here we go. So arcane magic chalk, we want that to be temporal. You know, I probably should start up here and just keep searching. Okay, that's normal and that's temporal. Got it. That's normal magic chalk. That's normal. And then we're back to the top. Good, so I could save that, and I think we can get rid of that for now. The next thing is going to be finding the item up here. I'm going to close all tabs. This is going to be under items. Magic chalk. So anywhere where it says arcane, I want it to be temporal. Okay, there we go. That is done. Let's go under the recipes for these now. So we got magic chalk here. Where is this? This is in the cannot craft. So game, gear, temporal. Oh, wrong thing. Whoops. Hold on. Hold on. I didn't mean to change that. I wanted to change this. So we'll put in gear dash temporal. We'll make that save. We're going to change the name. Now I'm just going to copy this, paste it in here, and just delete the old one. And then get rid of that. Okay, so the crafting recipe should be updated. Now we got to find, well, we did the magic chalk. I think I have to find the item for magic chalk and just spot check that. Yep, that's what I thought. So this would be temporal. Anywhere where it says arcane, I want it to be temporal. Magic rune block also has to change. Oh, I forgot about that. See, it's a good thing I checked, or else it would have been kind of weird. All right, so under blocks, magic rune. Again, anywhere where it says arcane, I want it to be temporal. Oh, I have to rename the texture. Thank God, not every texture, but I got to rename that folder. So textures, blocks. Do I have magic rune block? Here we go. So where it says arcane, we want it to be temporal. Thank God, I would have had to rename all of those. Oh, thank you, Pass Vice. Thank you. All right, let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think everything will work. And then we'll have the new temporal chalk. Temporal magic chalk. All right, magic chalk. So that item is dead. And we got this temporal chalk. Looks like it's looking good there. Let's try to use it. Not bad. Oh, you know what? We need to look at the rituals, the things that consume this stuff. Mod system, rifts, here we go. Rituals. Oh, shooters at world magic. So I don't think I'm doing anything in here. Oh, I do have this. Okay, this is what I was looking for. This needs to be temporal. Oh man, I have to change that too. Okay, you know what? We're gonna gracefully shut down. By the way, I figured that I might make the attribute system to work with help with build an extra trait system. I think I may be able to make things a little bit easier for myself, basically using watched attributes as it's tied to player. Yeah, that's what I had said you'd have to do before. Do you remember that conversation when you're talking about how bad it would be? And then I mentioned, pumping things out to a dictionary. Like you would want to use watched attributes as the stores for the actual values of your strength, stamina, dexterity, intelligence, like whatever attributes you make, because you need a place. Like on the player, it's perfect, right? They have the number 5, right? It could just be a simple int, and then you could do a search based on this watched attribute tag. If they have it, then pull from that database and connect the two, right? Oh yeah, true, sorry. I was quite sleepy then. You know what? That happens to me a lot more than you think. Like a simple thing, right? I'm at work and I have I have one of the label makers, right? And I'm like, you know what? We don't use it that frequently. Just put fresh batteries in because they died. Obviously, this thing sat too long. So I just printed out a little label and I popped the back and I just stuck it to, stop the batteries there. And then just popped it back on and be like, yeah, you know what? And then left like a little note, right? Like, batteries are good, just remove tag. And then a couple days later, coworkers like showing like what he was doing, and he's like, see, and I did this, and he's like, see the little tab in there? Now you can, I'm like, dude, I did that like a couple days ago. He was like, oh. Because I'm like, that's my handwriting. You know what I mean? Like, it's... It happens a lot. Maybe I got a little chunk of the TARDIS in me or something. All right, so we have to start from here. So instead of an arcane magic rune, it is now a temporal magic rune. Feel how scratchy my throat is. God. I'm so thankful I'm not, like, sicker, though. Alright, so let's back up. Arcane. Replace those. Kind of update that. Perfect. There we go. Now we go back to here. It's going to be really easy to find this kind of stuff now. So I can do a build, and I think I have this. Yeah, here we go. So in Magic Chalk, oh, I was using Arcane here, right? So that's going to be temporal. Done. In the ritual system, that's right, I expanded it to here, and we can do temporal. We go further down, I think in the rituals here. Right, so that's going to have to be temporal. This is why I like to get names right the first time. Because you have to, like, you know, play detective and touch, like, so many parts of your code. There we go. Build. Now it should be fine, and it should consume correctly. Let me check one more thing, because I don't think I even put the ability to do this in that. It would be the block entity station Spellforge, right? Because I eat the runes here. Okay. So if we're in runes, if it's a magic rune, we run that. I need to find the trigger when you consume the runes. Dun, 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 dun. You know what? Maybe... No, because it has nothing to do with transmutation. Yeah, it's going to eat all of the runes. I have to figure out... So upgrade rune check. Current upgrade runes true. So this would be like on creation. I need to look. What's this method called? Maybe I'm calling it elsewhere. One reference. Block entity. Okay, so block station Spellforge. Here we go. Consume magic runes. Okay, so I need to enhance this. What we'll do is go into here. And we're gonna want to do basically the same thing. In here. There we are, right here. So we're gonna want to roll our random. Some of this stuff will be different. So instead of getting the player world, I could just do world in. Copy. It's going to want the block accessor, that's fine. Block light. So instead of block in, this should be block. And then I can tap into block access for these. I see some chat on the side. I will read it in one moment. I think that's what I want to do right there. By the way, what do you think about the new boat building system? Do you plan to use it for machine mod in some way as well? To step away from PC for a bit. Oh, okay. I did mention that. It must have been when he stepped away. I would like to... I'm right now, I'm 50-50 with the machine mod. I think it's bullshit that I have to rewrite this mod for the third or fourth time because that system keeps changing. And it'd be one thing if it was like Minecraft, right? Because at least in CurseForge, I could get like maybe $5 or $10. You know what I mean? Just by having people download the mod, right? So at least there's some kind of compensation of time to some degree. I don't have that. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm 50-50 if that mod is even going to move forward or not. So if it does move forward, I would like to incorporate that system. I really want to see what it does and how it does it. But I am getting sick and tired of rebuilding a complex mod from scratch each time that this mounting system drastically changes. It's you know, it was one of the selling points to like mod for this instead of Minecraft, because I did that with Minecraft and it burned me out. So it may literally be a coin flip. This coin right here, this EverQuest 2 collector's coin that I got, Kingdom of Sky collector's coin, right? This will dictate it. Either we get the real dragon, which will be to go forward, or we'll get the bone dragon, in which case I will reconsider my options for that mod. Submarines a must. Yeah, I do have them built. I just thought there's a weird thing with the rendering when you're looking through your glass. It's just kind of like you see the water, you know, like, or you don't see any water at all when you're looking through. It's a weird culling thing. Maybe it was fixed in this update because he actually had to put like a mask, a water mask in. So maybe that would fix a lot of things, but maybe I would have to there'd have to be buzz generated for the mod, right? That's another factor. If like no one, like a couple people care and no one else is really saying anything, then there's a lot of factors. But I am getting sick and tired of rewriting those complex mods. Like it's not cool. It's not cool to break it that much. All right, so we're going to rebuild. I think I covered all the bases. This should be 100% changed over now. Na 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 na. Let me make sure my ringer is on. There we go. I wonder if I should make it say, instead of magic rune, should it be a temporal magic rune when you look at it? I'm kind of thinking yes. Less confusion. Copy paste. So if it is normal, it'll be that. If it's temporal, it'll be a temporal magic rune. There we go. We're making improvements. Not sure how much longer I'll stream for. I thought I was going to have a lot more time, but some walks that should have been occurring are occurring in a different manner than my initial time calculation accounted for, we will say. All right, temporal magic rune. We got it. I can create them. Perfect. Let's use them in a ritual. You know what? Let's create some rot. Boom, 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 boom. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. I believe we need a torch. And we'll get a bunch of cattail tops. Throw a bunch. Why not? Live a little. And it looks like that was actually pretty good. There's a 25% chance, and we did get some rot. I'm just going to admin eat that. We're going to do it until it eats a rune. And I realize I now have spell haste on this rod, and I don't want that. Okay, so it ate 2 runes that time, so that is working pretty well. I do not want spell haste on these wands. So let's change that. Oh. You get a 5% spell haste. That's what it is. It's a 5% spell haste. So my casting is wrong because I am a rust mage. Come on. Yeah. I just wanted to verify I am indeed a rust mage. Okay, so if this is a basic wand, what is my spell cast time modifier here? Apprentice, tier 3, tier 2, tier 1. Oh, it's not getting any bonus at all. Oh, shoot. I cannot have this. All right. We're gonna duplicate some stuff here. So instead of staff, this is gonna have to be a wand. Spell modifier. All right. And then we are gonna copy this. I'm gonna have to prune a lot of stuff out. Copy. Get rid of all of this and paste that one thing in. So if you are a rust mage, I think I want this to just be the tier 0, which gives you 5%. And then we'll do an else. Tier 0 without Rust Mage. And that should give you the 0. And then I also have to account if you have like classes disabled for whatever reason. Then it's just going to be a flat 0. Now we have to make this variable. Copy, paste. This one will be wand. And then we will initialize this variable. There we go. That should fix that weird casting. We're going to have to shut down because I just made some variables outside of the running game methods. Man, I wish we had ships with dynamic damage with cannons. Love naval combat. Maybe someone will make that mod. You can make that mod. That'd be kind of... that would be neat. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. Because I like that kind of thing. Like, it kind of reminds me of Atlas, but the fun part of Atlas was, like, the discovery, right? Like, you're in your boat, and you're, like, discovering the map, and you're docking, right? You're in each island, and I don't think this game would be able to support that kind of combat too well with its, like, client-server relationship. We can't even get creatures to, like, animate correctly, right? Like, sometimes they'll just play something on the client side that the server doesn't agree with because, like, desync. So I don't know how something like that would work out. All right. Let's cast this spell. There we go. No, it's 5 seconds. We're getting close. We're getting close. Oh, I never changed down here, right? Tool basic wand. Yeah, it's still taking the staff. It needs to take from the wand. There we go. Fireball. All right, let's try that again. There we go. 4-second cast time. Woo! I can, but my ADHD would want it to make it as true dynamic damage, not prefab damage, so it would break my brain. Honestly, I don't think you could do it. I don't think anyone could do it in the current state of the way I see like the client server, because you have to keep in mind, like with this in Minecraft, every second is a guaranteed 20 ticks. So if something is traveling, everyone understands, even if there's lag or delay for any reason, when it catches up, where that projectile would be, right? Where that position is. This game doesn't do that, right? It's touting that it's more optimized because basically you could have 9 ticks in a second, you could have 28 ticks in a second, right? Like, it fluctuates, right? And when you get something like that, then data's out of sync. So there's no good way to do something like that. Like people, for instance, like my projectiles from the elementals, it basically uses what the drifters use, right? For their aim. And sometimes it's undodgeable because you'll see it's coming off to the side and then it hits you and it's like, there's no way that should have hit me. And you only experience that on servers, right? Servers with not a lot of giddy up, right? Like a budget server and you're trying to do stuff like that. Same thing with drifters, why it seems like their accuracy is so much more deadlier. It's like they hit me no matter what. It's like, oh, well, if you play single player, sometimes you can avoid them, right? Like in single player here, I can literally run circles around my elementals and not get hit. So how do you fix the game, right, to make something like that work? It's tough. It's a tough one, Blurry. I don't know if you can. I think you have to wait for the game to expand, right? Like if they locked us in at like 20 ticks each second, you don't throw anything away, you chug and process until we all understand, right? Until we all see the same picture. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's a tough one. I know you could probably program a lot of it, but you would probably break your brain trying to figure out why your code that should be working is not working the way you expect it. All right, so I fixed that, right? 4 seconds. Yep. There we go. Although that was a little different now. Full basic wand. So am I getting more spell haste from something, or are my calculations wrong? Oh, you know what? It doesn't support floats because I wanted cast time in ints. So there may be some weirdness when you get down to some of the stuff. Like it does tell you the whole time there, but it just expires a little early. You know what? I think it's good enough for now. Probably doing something wrong somewhere, in some way. Because that's 5%. Oh yeah, 5% of like 5 seconds is something. Yeah, that's not going to really be fully supported. You really get the most out of those 5 seconds for those like longer casting spells. Right, tool basic wand cast time. Now, is there another? You know what? I think I know what's going on. I think I need to also change this in the wand itself. I don't think I'm doing a search for the wand, so yeah, it would be a little out of whack. Best views on my ass. Boom. Bitch. Every once in a while, pulling out the band hammer, it does feel pretty good. It does feel pretty good. Also makes me feel good because it's like, oh, it looks like they think my channel's good enough to spam on. Cool. Doing something right. All right, where's the item staff here? Or the wand. Item wand. Should be under tools. Basic wand. Here it is. I bet you I'm not calculating this correctly. Oh, wait, no. It would be something else, right? It would be a modifier, like a spell modifier. There we go. Spell wand cast time. I guess I'm doing it for a straight cast time. Oh, shit. I got the tier 1 in there? What? It should be tier 0, first of all. Oh, but I basically built the same thing, right? So we got 0, 0. Let's scroll a little further down. So there's the wand modifier. Scroll a little further down. Okay, so I'm not using those, but I am using this. So it should be the same thing. So I'm not changing it. And then that should be the same thing. Oh, you know what? I guess technically, wouldn't that been about 20% of the spell haste? Let's see. There it is. Fixed it. One thing. Announcement Gold Discord. We don't ban people. We just give them a role and makes them on read-only mode. Also, everyone sees that their rank is NFT enthusiast. Yeah, that NFT stuff. I don't understand it, but you know what? If it makes people happy, go for it. Value's subjective anyways. Yeah, we buy a handkerchief from Elvis, right? That any normal person, you know, outside of the scope, if they blew their nose into a handkerchief, no one would want to touch that shit. Right? So it's really all subjective anyways. But it's Elvis. It has his DNA. All right, so I guess I fixed that bug. What else can we work on? Not sure what I have time for. So magic chalk. Let me just double check. All right, for magic chalk, we have the temporal magic chalk now. It's got a valid recipe. Thaumic workbench only crafting. Temporal runes, 25% chance of being consumed. We tested it. I think we are good to go. I think we're good to go with that. All right, what else was I going to fix? Or adjust, I should say. So we got the arcane bag. We got the arcane chalk. The bag of holding, I made 16 slots. I don't have a recipe in for that yet. It's probably going to take some Eldrathrium. I don't know how you're going to make Eldrathrium. I suppose the next thing I could work on, though, is pruning out the Shadow Gems and the Radiant Gems. I think we could get rid of those now. And then that means this system's going to have to be a day-night based cycle system again. With the bonus of like the mana torches, but at least in that system, if you did want to convert like one of these Devouring Voids into an obelisk again, I can make that conversion. Potentially. Well, NFTs, they're quite laughingstock, so people get banned becoming laughingstock. Well, in your group, it's a laughingstock, but the NFT community is actually pretty robust. Again, I think it's kind of stupid, but yeah, I understand what you're saying, but the fact that, you know, people are dishing out that money, right? And there's a lot, right? You can go on Coinbase, for instance, and they're like, oh, we have an NFT wallet. It's like, well, you keep that to yourself. It is silly, you know, that people are paying. I mean, it's just like with that Trump dude, right? Having his NFTs, and it's like, wow. You know what I mean? You see some of those pictures and I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. But if, you know, again, right? If it makes people happy, go for it. Like, I don't really care for firearms, but I know some people who, like, collect them, love to go shooting. Good on you, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna yuck your yum. Do what makes you happy. We only got so much time. If you want to spend $500 on a gorilla in a suit, bad looking image that someone just pulled from the internet, you do what you want with your money. I'm just saying there are other ways to spend it. Make yourself a nice lasagna. I don't know. Do something. Wear a t-shirt, eat a hot dog. I don't know. Let's change this. I think we are retiring those gems now. We're gonna close all tabs because this one is gonna get a little messy. We need to find the transmutation behavior. Then we need to go down to magic stations. No, we don't. No, we don't. They're gonna be world magic arrays. Major rituals. Here we go. So the ritual of purification and the ritual of corruption. What reagents should they take instead? Because it should take a reagent of some kind. Oh, I don't deny that. I just wanted to describe how people see that in the Discord. Not really a leader there, but just a moderator, rule enforcer there. Yeah. And again, right, in that community, yeah, NFTs are. But you know what? People, they're probably the people on there that are like, damn, man, they're so lame. And they got like stockpiles of that shit because they're like, someday it's going to make me money. I'll take this image of a jar of pebbles and I'll be like, here, son, here, grandson, why don't you go build yourself a nice spaceship, right? Why don't you get a nice rocket ship? Oh, man. See this gorilla holding a banana as a phone, wearing a suit that looks like it was AI generated? Why don't you buy yourself a nice duplex mansion on the moon? some sunfront property. Oh, man. All right, I want to get rid of this crap. That's right. I want to look at the creative menu. So what could you throw in as a reagent for this? Arcanus is like the clear-cut choice, but I just don't know if there's like anything else. There really isn't anything. It should be Arcanus. Wow. How much Arcanus now? Right? How much? Arcanus normal. Arcanus normal. With those two things, I have made this gem completely useless. Just saying. Made it completely and utterly useless. We're not alone in this universe, and they already know about humans. Wonder what they think about us. Yeah, right? Or they may not know about us. If you think of it this way, Blurry, think of it this way, because I had a conversation a couple months ago about like alien life with some people, and I brought up a good debate topic of like, think about how we are and how we evolved up and everything. We have kind of made it to where no other species is really going to evolve to our standard, because, you know, if we're not going to see like a massively intelligent squirrel civilization or anything, because we're cutting down their trees and everything, right? Like there's no stability for them to evolve over time because we're taking all the resources and everything for ourselves, right? So think of it in this way too. Like you're an alien or something and you see all the resources on this planet. You know, it's the same kind of idea of like, well, if there is something that much higher that could see us before we see them kind of thing, I mean, we would, you know, you'd be under the yoke of something else, either as, you know, a lower life form, or maybe they'll just view you as ants, right? And you're like, I'm just here for the water and the oxygen and all these other resources, so we're just going to start mass collect, you know what I mean? So I think I can argue the fact that inherently, you know, like if there was some greater intelligence out there that have already had, you know, travel, that'd be kind of scary, right? Because I mean, what if they do to us what we do to the squirrels in their habitat, right? All these pesky humans are running around. Let's put up some poison here. We'll collect them all here. Blow up that spot. Hey, look at that! Planet cleared. We got rid of all the roaches. We'll keep a couple as pets. All right, so for the purification ritual, let me get back on track here. Pretty interesting points of view, eh? Because some people are like, dude, there's no life. Others were like, man, there's life everywhere. They're among us. And it's like, maybe not. Like, I don't know. But did you ever think of this? So somewhere in all of this code, I have the day-night cycle being checked. And it worked really well. Maybe I need to put in day. Shit. So it's not here. Oh, you know what? It's probably not in World Magic. It's probably in the old ritual stuff that I haven't retired. Okay, that was me trying to do like do some other stuff. Time, maybe not day, time. Shit, that's not it either. I'm trying to remember the keywords of these old rituals. So that's the AoE growth spell. I think it's going to be further up here. Ritual of Creation, crystals. I wish I remembered what the old thing... Wasn't it Nexus? Something with Nexus, right? Nexus Shattering. There we go, Dark Nexus. Ah, that's what I was looking for. Doing all the mana checks here. This is the code I was looking for. Copy. Now we can go back into the World Magic. You know what? We'll just go here. Instead of... I'm gonna... Ah, shit. I'm gonna paste all of this in, because I need to copy and paste something else. I'm gonna make a copy of this. And I'll say purification or corruption, because this is going to be one thing. It's a good point of view. One I like is perhaps the universe and ascended races might be a lot more peaceful than we imagine. Well, yeah, that's true. If you're too aggressive, thus, why would you want to interact with humans? Well, that's true. I mean, it's not like you go up to a hive of hornets. But also, that's giving us a lot of credit that we are indeed like hornets to them. You have to think in the scope of like really like our understanding of the universe as a whole. Really, like the time that we're in right now is like the first time that things have been stable enough. Like the young universe had so much radiation that like things would just get sterilized like constantly, right? Life just could not form. But now, you know, it's like even the early stages of like, you know, our planet's creation, right? Like you had all these big stars they're blowing up like supernovas everywhere, and then that's giving materials for like the next wave, you know, and then even further down the road when things start to blow up, right, like stuff gets locked up. So the third generation of stars, or like the next one, you know, besides like our sun and as we know it, is projected to be much smaller, right, but more dense. You know, it's like all this stuff in the air. It's like, who knows, we could be the first ones, we may not be. It's hard to tell, but those are also all valid arguments because all of us are speculating. You know, like inherently radiation, you can have resistance to it, but you can't have resistance to like ridiculous amounts of it that would just literally destroy like anything in its path and mutate it, right? Like a living organism can't do that. You know, it's a weird concept, right? Because we're also talking about these speculations based on what we know as a living organism in biology. You know, think of the whole thing. People think stuff is haunted and everything else. Like, how do you explain that with you know, with what we know as life and intelligence? You know, sure, matter can be created or destroyed, right? Like, or it can't be created or destroyed. Newton's laws. So it's like, so what? When you die, your brain electrons are still kind of there in the space, right? And manifests with this energy, or you know, it's interesting. It's interesting. I love these speculations in space in general. Also, like the perhaps alien life might not be organic, but instead carbon, some other material based. Yeah. Although it is weird that you would think that a civilization that is advanced becomes noisy, right? And we've yet to really see those kind of noisy things, right? Like, it's definitely, like I said, it's interesting. It's not like any of us went to a black hole. Maybe each black hole we see is like some kind of like, you know, cosmic alien thing. Who knows? All we have is speculate. We can't even take a clear picture of them, you know? Banhammer, bitch. Boom. All right. So let's continue. All right, purification. I think what I need to do, unfortunately, I think I need to do these kind of checks. Yeah, there was another one. Yeah, they're trying to spam links, but it comes up as asterisks, right? Cheap viewers on. But that's why, like, when people are like, can I link something? No, you can't, because I don't have any moderators, you know. I do it all myself, and I'm not going to have someone be able to post a link in there and, you know, potentially get other people, right? Like, it dies with me. If you really want to put a link somewhere, pop it into Discord or just message me directly. You know what I mean? Even if you message me directly or something, I may not even click on it unless I know you. So, well, let me put it this way. I will not click on it unless I know you. A lot of people send like the friend invites and stuff, and it's like, I look to see, are you in my server and the Vintage Story server or what? You know, like I do some research, and a lot of times I just reject it. All right. So here's the corruption, the purification. Those are going to be going. I think what I need to do is copy this as well. And we're going to paste that in there. And I'm going to just say this is or corruption. And I will get rid of all of this. I'm going to start commenting some of these out. Bam. There we go. So now we're just going to be running off of this. So if we go back down into here, pop that in there. And then these I will also get rid of. Which means over here, this is going to be all jacked up, so I can just say, or corruption, which means I can get rid of this. All right, so we're condensing some of the code down. Now, I can take this check, we'll cut it out, we'll go back into the pattern checker, and I think it's going to be in here that I'm going to want to dump this off. And I'll have to change this, but let's just kind of read through it, right? So if you see a neutral mana torch, so instead of neutral mana torch, this is going to have to be a regular torch, right? Because if you have a regular torch, I want you to do like a day-night kind of cycle with it, right? Between certain times, it's going to be this, else it's dark. And then if it's a light, it's going to be light. If it's a dark, it's going to be dark. I have to put something else in here as well. We're just going to, I'll pop it into here. If it's neutral, it'll be neutral. I will give you the ability to maybe reconvert these back. You know what? Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll leave that commented out. I'll still fill it out just in case I use it later since I'm here. I just got to paste it in like 4 more times. And 1 more time. There we go. But really, I want to focus on this. Let's go back up to here. And I'm going to want to do a contains based on the torch points. So we're going to copy all of that. And I'm going to paste this in. So our first check for the torches is going to be looking at the torch positions and then seeing if that code contains like the basic torch. If it is the basic torch, then we are going to have a time of day, right? Being so many hours. It's going to be either a light or a dark. Instead of Nexus type, they are going to be called Essence, or I could just say generator type. So we'll just call it generator type. And then I will pop in the correct mana torches. It should be, I think, just correct torches. Yep, correct torches. Right there. Everywhere where it's trying to do the correct torches, we'll pop that in. All right, a little less red, right? A little less red. Now what I'm going to have to do is copy this. And paste that in there. Everywhere here where it says the torch basic lit, we'll do that. There we go. Now I can get rid of this. All right, so for the next check, if it's not torches, the next check's going to see if it's a light mana torch. If it is, we'll just default it to light. The next thing, of course, will be dark. Dark, 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 and dark. I don't think I can do this the way that I'm expecting to do this. We'll see, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get away with what I'm trying to do. I'm going to have to move this whole thing. Positive I will. So this whole thing, looking at the correct torches, I could get rid of that. And I will get rid of the elemental crystal part of it. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut all this out. Copy. Fuck's this trying to do? Copy. There we go. Come on, man. Don't give me lip. We'll come down to here. Okay, so in here, I'm going to want to paste all this stuff, right? So we got all of our runes. I will get rid of that stuff. I will still check for the magic rune pattern, which is laid out there. We will still do the generator type, the torches. So this right here, we'll go back. I need to copy these two things out, come back down. So those are going to be the true checks that we're going to have to do. Runes, torches, and of course the reagents. Let's scroll back to the top because I need to make, I need to bring these over. Which I guess I could have just typed them out and not been lazy. Perfect. We're going to bring this back. This will be generator type. Neutral. Oh, shit. Hold on. I can't do that because it's a different system. A different system. So it can't be light or dark. It's literally going to have to dictate the resulting item, I think. So this right here, this part there, I'm gonna cut that out. We're gonna pop it in here. I'm gonna say generator type. So the light generator type is going to be a celestial prism. This will be devouring void. Celestial prism. Devouring void. And then the default will be... It honestly doesn't matter. I just want something in there. I'll make it a celestial prism. There we go. Because it will always change this, depending on what it is. Like, there has to be torches there, right? Like, approved torches. Or else the whole thing fails, because this will be triggered as false still. Okay, I think that is going to do it. This ritual should potentially work. We do need to shut down the game because I did stuff. I did some stuff. Generator type does not exist. Where is this? Oh, this is the old... Okay, I gotta get rid of this too. Boop. Get rid of all the pattern checkers. There we go. We're gonna rebuild. Gonna go back up here. So it's gonna take 4 normal Arcanas to do this. All right, we are good. Let's hop in and let's try to do it. I'll make it actually use the data it reads. Well, we'll see if it does. We'll see if I did anything wrong. I'm not going to ruin this setup. We are going to go... Let's make it daytime. There we go. I can see. Where do I want to do this testing? Probably over here. in the dregs, right? My test bed over here. This world's starting to get a little too big. I may have to do something about that. Start fresh. We'll get torches. We'll get the obelisk. And I'm going to get rid of those, right? And then we'll get the Arcanus. Oop, 64. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should give us a Celestial Prism. And it should respect the fact that I use the better runes. Boom, baby! Alright, so we'll break that. We're just going to rebuild. There we go. Put the torches back down. We're going to make it nighttime. Boom. Nighttime. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Devouring Void. Sweet. Break that. Now we're going to do another test with mana torches. So I will use light mana torches because I'm going to try and force the light ritual at this time, right? The, you know what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrong. All right, so what happened there? Run consumption. So it sees this as null. Inert torch. Block inert torch equals code with variant. I did type inert. You know, I think I did change that. Ooh, let's go to blocks mana torches. There is no inert there. It's under state. It's not typed, it's state. All right, so I did do that wrong. Let's say state is inert. Let me look at the mana lantern as well. The state can only be lantern. Okay, so I am doing this right. And then inert is up here. I think I need to redesign the mana torch a little bit. That way, because this would have worked with shutting off mana torch. So I need to do that. Let me just double check that I have nothing weird for states. So I have mana torch, the state, which would have been inert. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Ooh. You know what? Instead of redoing what I have here, I will just, I will rewrite it here. Because I know what I want to do, right? I want to take the basic block. So let's see what we got in from block. Mana torch, light, lit, up. So I need to convert that lit to inert. Which I think I actually just did. Yeah, I did change it from lit to inert. So let's see if we can continue. Yeah, I think it's just gonna hard shut down. Which means if I'm doing something like this anywhere else, I need to account for that. Creative mode. Ha ha ha. Let's play another song. So I was playing over here with it because it crashed, right? Didn't save anything. Boom. We know the regular torches work. That's not what we changed. I want light. Give me this. Boom. Light, 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 and light. Get rid of those two things. Give me a bunch of Arcanus. Now I'm going to save and quit. Just in case it crashes, I'll have everything set up already. And we'll give it a try. It should work. It should be just swapping the lit to inert. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do this thing. Let's light this candle. And it did it. It does not consume your mana torches anymore. It could just shut them off on you. So you'll have to relight them. But that worked. Now we're going to do the opposite. So we'll get a dark mana torch. Let's put our runes back down. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just in case you're like underground and you don't know. Oh, wait, you know what? Let's make it daytime, right? That's the real test. There. You love that desync right there? It's beautiful. And we made a Devouring Void, and well, it looks like it did shut off half. Cool. Working. Working. Damn, I love these new models, right? They were a labor of love. I had to figure out how to do shaders. Shaders really ups the awesomeness of some of this stuff. So once this is like, once I feel like alpha is good, I'm waiting for feedback. We should just be just about there. I can start working on fun spells again. The next fun spell I want to do is the Summon Wisp spell. Or the Summon Light, which summons a wisp that follows you, that gives off light. Because that's going to be some shader work. I think that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be like the first legit, like, temporary pet that you can get. That's going to be a fun spell. Like I can't wait to do that. But I wanted to do it this stream, but I had to focus on the staples, right? Like magic has to be useful, the flow has to feel good, and then I can start adding all those extra things like, you know, the portals and the void vaults and all the stuff I wanted to do. Okay, so with that, we can do the final step of this grand plan. Let's go down to items. Actually, we should go into patches. Here we go. The block patches. And get rid of them. I'm going to comment them out because I think I'm going to use them in the future, but this item's going away, so these can effectively be disabled. Just like that. And in the name, I will also put disabled as well. I'll be like, disabled dash. There we go. So I'll know in the future, and I can just enable it back up, because I think I got the drop rates where I want them. Now we can go into Radiant Gem. False, baby. Gone. Let's go into the Shadow Gem. For now, false. Gone. All right, let's load up the world. Make sure I didn't use these in any crafting recipes. I think I do remember trying to pepper them in a few, but I just gave up on that. So I got to look over here on my debug screen. Kind of look at both here. Aha, the stability stabilizers. That's right. All of those things use those gemstones. So I just need to change that. That's right. That's the only thing that I use them for the ingredients. But that's an easy fix. That is a really easy fix. First of all, let's close all tabs. And let's pull up those recipes. And they're all the utility blocks here. So we got a Shadow Gem, we got a Radiant Gem. Now, what do I want you to use to make these? Maybe it should be maybe it should be Arcanus. Arcanus is like top shit. Definitely top shit. Or I could have it be the compound. You know what? I don't think it should be the compound. I think it should be Arcanus. I want a higher value on these. Maybe what I could do based on feedback, because the way you get the crystals is by elemental drops. Maybe for the rituals, I could be persuaded to not use Arcanus for everything. For most things, maybe it should be like the rustic compound or the glimmering compound or what, whatever the compound is. Because that one's a little easier to come by. So maybe we'll do that. All right, so Arcanus. Arcanus - normal. Which means I can get rid of this bottom one, because that's not needed. Boom, normal Arcanus. What else you got? Shadow Gem. Since this is tier 2, this would be Primal Arcanus. And I can delete that. Boom, done. Magic Ward. Tier 1, normal Arcanus. And I can get rid of that. Boom. Botanical Matrix. This one's going to be the Seraphic Arcanus. Oops. And I'll get rid of that. I thought I screwed up that one. Boom. All right, so we'll save all of those. Now, you know what? Let's stop the game, because it's just going to be easier for me to do a copy and paste, and then like, so I can copy these. We can go down into here into utilities. I can delete the old ones. and then paste the new ones in. And then I just comment out the first part here, the required traits part. All right, creative. We'll see what it does now. So far, so good. I'm not seeing any errors come up. So I think the new alpha would be ready if I wanted to push it out now. Added more things, getting closer. You know what? I think I won't push out this new alpha yet. I wanna kind of ask some questions from the community. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I want to see how people think I should make Eldrathium. I feel like it should be more. It should be a process to make Eldrathium in some way. I just don't know what that should be. You know, because like for metal, right? You smelt it and you melt it down. Like you're gonna start off with like an ingot of steel. How do I imbue mana or something into that to convert it to Eldrathium? Right? Like what fun magic feeling process that's not over the top, right? Because this is a distant tier 3 thing. It shouldn't be like, I'm not going to make a new block for this, a new block entity that like burns it or converts it, or, you know, like maybe a ritual, but I feel like that's cheaping out. But I mean, it would be in line with everything else. I don't know. I mean, so far default crafting recipe. I feel like it could be better, right? There's an opportunity for greatness. Right, so I need another 8 there. All right, stability stabilizer. Looks good. Mana stream generator. Music. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that goes there, right? Yep. And that is that. Perfect. Now my stuff is updated. That gem is officially out. Let me double check the top here. No issues captured. Sweet. Okay. All right. So I think I'll probably end it here. Yeah, I'll probably end it here. Gives me time to post a little in Discord, hit the bathroom, make some. I don't even know what I'm gonna have for lunch. I'll find something. I'll rummage. Who is playing this game? Vintage Story. We got some people playing. We got 3 others. Ooh, Eldritch Horror Chill. Mud Hut expansion. Ooh, let's get some breathing room. I like that. What about this? Vintage Story with friends, 6 hours. There's me, and then there's this other person. Vintage Story Day 3. The Beamies. Maybe. Kind of the Mud Hut expansion, I think, is getting me a little more. Just because I do live usually in a dirt hut. So I want to see how this person's going to be doing that, like, you know, expanding their space. So we'll do exclamation raid / raid. And yeah, the percussion gained, whatever. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Definitely join the Discord, join in the chat. Like I said, I'm going to be asking a couple questions. It's just going to be like how to handle Eldrathium. You know, like any suggestions on Eldrathium. And honestly, if it is just like a simple ritual or something, I mean, I think we've pretty much neared the end of alpha. You know, like now it's just like testing. Like I'll let this new alpha 10. I will be stopping on alpha 10. I will let alpha 10 just simmer. And if I get good feedback, there's a select few people that I'm definitely relying on feedback for. If they give the okay, like things feel better, well balanced, you know, you don't have to necessarily do a lot of tweaks, then we'll get the community server up and running. We will, and I'll focus on other things, like, you know, expanding some of the magic, maybe adding more wands, you know, maybe adding more spells, getting teleportation up and running, all the good stuff. But all right, thank you everyone for watching. I will talk to you all later. Bye. Copy my raid message. There we go. All right, everyone. Bye.